And Australians are trusting artificial intelligence less when it comes to news compared to the rest of the world. National technology reporter Ange Lavoipierre joins us now to talk more about this. And great to see you. Gee, this is a bit of good news.
Yeah, well, it's good news for the three of us at least anyway. But yeah, we do trust AI to make news less than the global average. So this is part of the Reuters Institute research. It's a really useful survey that's done every year. 45% was the average among global users. So they surveyed across 26 countries. 45% said they wouldn't trust news that was made majority by AI. But in Australia, that's 59%. So we're significantly less trusting. We were only outstripped by the UK in terms of those trust stakes. They were slightly less trusting than us. Also, I was interested to see that something like 56% of Australians said they knew little to nothing about AI, which is also about the global average, and that correlated with not trusting it to make news. So, yeah, I don't know, conversely, counterintuitively perhaps suggesting that the more you know, the less worried you are, which has certainly never been the case for me.
Yeah, and me.
And there's been an interesting development overnight with Meta and with AI. Can you talk us through what's going on there?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen this, but my social media feeds have been absolutely full of this for the last week, where you've got people anxious basically about a change to the terms and conditions for Meta platforms. So predominantly in this case, it's Facebook and Instagram that will be affected. And it means that from the 26th of June, your posts and everything you've put there, your photos, your captions, your comments will all be used to train Meta's AI. Now, Australians can't opt out of this, but because of tougher regulations in the EU and the UK, those users could have. So what's interesting over the weekend is what's happened is they've had enough pressure, Meta's had enough pressure from regulators in the EU and the UK that they've actually decided not to go ahead with that change there. So they've essentially made such a fuss. There's been so much noise that Meta said, okay, all right, we won't do it. So you won't even have to opt out there. It is still going ahead in Australia. I've seen just a little PSA because I've seen a lot of people posting saying, I don't consent. You see these sort of still saying, I don't consent to Meta using it. That doesn't work. That's about as good as saying abracadabra. Don't bother. Use your energy and your time elsewhere. But that is happening, yeah.
Interesting to see that change of view by Meta. Now, let's finish with words I thought, Ange, would never go together. Whales and artificial intelligence. Yeah,
I feel like we're hitting AI hard enough. I should talk about something useful that it's doing, or if not useful, then at least novel and fun, which is, there's some researchers who have been trying to, learn how to speak whale, or at least map what the whale language is, and they've actually managed to do it. So this has been a pursuit that I've been following for a while, and they took thousands of instances of the whale coders, which are the clicking sounds that they make, and run them through a very specific AI, which is wonderful at pattern recognition, as we know, and they've basically mapped the language, and they've learned that it is super complex, like way more complex than we thought, which is good and interesting because it really dispels that notion, that assumption we sometimes have that humans are the only ones who are capable of complex communication. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a whole whale alphabet, phonetic alphabet they've managed to map, and they're having conversations.